We are recording. Yes, we are recording on the main camera, and let's press record on the Ustream. Start record. Bingo. Look, I'm on time. I'm on time today. 10 AM. Check it out. I am impressed. I am impressed with myself. I really do like these late starts. It means I can get things working on time. Hey everyone, thanks for joining me. The camera's up there, so if I'm looking down here, I'm reading my notebook and the IRC window. So if I don't look at the camera, please forgive me. I can't make my tripod any lower, actually. My webcam is sitting on my monitor, which is sitting on the camcorder monitor, which is sitting on the tripod, and it's a certain height, and it's like up here, and my notebook's down here. So there you go. In fact, I was a bit worried because my new camcorder is a Canon HFG10, and it's got a touchscreen. It's a whole touchscreen user interface thing, and I've got the webcam clipped on. The only way I can attach the webcam to the camcorder is to clip it onto the screen, and the little clip touches the touchscreen. So I thought, oh no, it'll screw up somehow, but it hasn't. It's recording, and it's recording on battery too. I've got like it says I've got 197 minutes left on the battery. So I've got one of those expanded battery packs for it. It isn't the biggest one, but perhaps it's a capacitive touchscreen. Says Sonic. Yes, it certainly could be. It may not be a resistive touch thing based on actual finger pressure or whatever. It might be capacitive. Yeah, could very well be. So anyway, it's not upsetting it. So thank you for turning up. How many people? We're almost cracked 100. I'm using Mirc, M-I-R-C, for the chat, and it says 97 people. Most are anonymous Ustreamers, but there's quite a few, and all the regular names are in the house, who I've mentioned before. So thanks guys. It's like, depends on where you are in the world, because it's actually 10 AM here in Sydney. It's like 2 AM in places like Norway and where is it, Croatia or somebody was in, and Germany it's 2 AM or something. I think it's 1 AM in London. Wow, it's like, and Mike from Mike's Electric Stuff is in the house. John from Tronics Stuff, both fellow bloggers. John S as well is in the house, and a whole bunch of others. Thank you very much, guys. Once again, no idea. I just thought I'd sit here in front of the camera and yap on. So if you've got any questions, yeah, fire away. Mishima Beef, however you pronounce that name. Andre, thanks for the tip on the sale of that Agilent meter some time ago. A friend bought one. Yeah, that was a bargain. If you missed it, I sent out a tweet. I actually got it from the forum, so whoever posted on the forum, they keep track of this, and it was the Agilent U1252A, was it? Multimeter, regularly like $500, and it was going for like 100 or 120 or something. It was insanely cheap, and they sold out within hours. And but there were quite a few people who picked one up, so that was awful. Thanks for the info regarding the Rode mic. No worries. Yeah, I'm using my Rode mic. I can now see the LED on the front. World's simplest mod, but geez, it's good. I tell you what, I can now see it. Everyone talked about like putting a mirror behind the thing so that, you know, you don't have to modify, just put a mirror there. Well, no, I use my camera everywhere, and I'm not going to attach some silly mirror on a little arm that comes out. No, just drill a hole and put an extra LED on the front. Much easier. So now, if the battery dies halfway during the show, I'll be able to see it. Too easy. Far too easy. I really like, I hate IRC, but I like, well, I hate Merc too. Everyone bags me for, I had trouble setting up Merc this morning, so thanks for people who helped me with that. And yes, this was going to be up to a 2-hour show, but the wife nagged me before and said, oh no, we have to go out. So 12 o'clock finish is too late. So I might have to make it shorter, like an hour and a half or something like that. Because time flies by in here. Like, you think, why would anyone, you know, just listen to me answer questions for an hour and a half? But it flies by. Well, it does on my end anyway. So there you go. I've been ranting on for 6 minutes already and haven't answered a single question. Any advice or perspective for a soon-to-be electrical engineering grad with high hopes for a good, fun, meaningful job? I've said this heaps of times on the show and also in the forum and stuff like that. Just do stuff outside of, work on your own projects outside of work and study. If you do that, then you'll get enthusiasm for the field and you won't get bored by it, and you'll be a much better job. Your employment opportunities will be much better as well. So I recommend you do that. Work on your own projects, contribute to an open source project or do something. Set up your own blog, get a project published, heaps of stuff like that. Do we still do the Q thing? Asked Leach. You can, but I can't see it. It only works in if you do Q : if you're in the Ustream chat, it pops up with a nice big question mark, and I really liked that. So I could see questions. They just popped out at me. But unfortunately, I'm using Merc, and it doesn't have the capability. But if you still do put the big Q with a colon, maybe it'll show up better here on my, you know, if I was a script kiddie, maybe I could write a script that if it searched the text, you know, if it searched the text for Q : it would highlight the thing. That'd be nice. If anyone's got a plugin or something for Merc that does that, that'd be neat. Oh, Ustream showing an advert break. Yeah, sorry about that. I guess you can't hear me now because it's playing a 15 or 30-second advert. Yeah, you can. To get rid of that, I've got to pay money. It's like $99 a month, I think. So yeah, it's really annoying. Yeah, advert. I'm not sure how many times it pops up. Is there a good project kit for SMD novice? Oh, gee, not that I'm aware of. I don't know. Somebody else will surely have better pointers to that. I don't keep up to date with all those beginner kits. Lurk Plus asks, what do I think of eBay as a source for parts since I'm new to electronics? eBay is an okay source if and only if you don't care about the quality of the parts. They're probably not genuine, they're the grey market, or, you know, they don't rely. I wouldn't use eBay parts in a production thing. I wouldn't put them into a project. You're fraught with danger. Don't do it. But for hobby stuff, by all means. You know, if you're buying like these resistor kits, you know, or something like that, if you're buying these resistor kits, you can get these very cheap on eBay. Maybe not in the box, but you can get like a whole mixed. If you want to, if you're building a lab and you want to stock up on all these SMD parts, you get like, you know, 10 or 100 of each value, and they're only like, I don't know, 10, $20 or something. And they give you like, I don't know, you know, a whole bunch of each value, and then you stock up your lab. So that's what eBay is really good for, and, you know, other things. But they don't do quality components. With Jerry and Chris getting a ham license, have you any interest? Not us, don't even know, Satcher JJ. No. I have no interest in getting a ham license at all. No, it doesn't interest me. Sorry, I'm not going to follow the crowd. Although I do like ham, you know, I like the stuff they do and everything, but no, I don't see any point. I wouldn't use it. It'd just be a thing to say, oh, I've got a ham license, whoop-de-doo. Yeah, I don't really see the point. If I'm not going to use it, then, well, yeah. Fair enough, we'll tolerate the ads till I get rich. Yay! Alright, yeah, one day. Like if I was doing shows, if I was doing a regular weekly show or twice weekly or something, or, you know, if the live shows were much more frequent, yeah, maybe I'd pay to get rid of the ads or something. But I'm still waiting for the YouTube live thing. YouTube have promised this live thing for ages and they still haven't done it yet. Yeah, so have we cracked up? Oh yeah, we've got 117 now, 119, keeps going up. Woohoo! Can we beat Adafruit, which are on after this, I believe. I believe at 12 o'clock, like in 2 hours time, or 1.5, you know, 2 hours time, the Adafruit chat's on. So if you want to leave here and you're still awake, you can jump on over to the Adafruit chat, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but somebody mentioned that. Oh, you can use ad block, can you, Master Burner? Ad block will get rid of the Ustream ads, will it? Wow. Yeah, ads. But ads now make me a full-time video blogger. So but I don't make anything at all from that ads that pop up on Ustream. I make nothing, so don't blame me for that. Actually, well, there's questions, but I'll get to those. I just wanted to say that I have been approached by somebody who wanted to put ads in my videos, and I've basically said pretty much no, because I know everyone hates them, and I hate them too. When you go to YouTube and you play the ad, you know, and a pre-roll ad pops up and stuff like that. And yeah, there's just got to be a better way to do it. Unless they pay me an absolute buttload of money, and then I maybe like $1 million or something. Well, maybe 100,000. I don't know. That'd do. Pay me $100,000, and I'll put one ad. And I'll put a 30-second ad at the start of one video for you. There you go. That's the price. Yeah. So I'm trying to. You know, I don't like, because this is now practically my full-time gig now, I don't want to, you know, I'm loath to turn down advertising, but I don't want to do the in-video ads. I just don't like them. Don't like them at all, and I'm pretty sure you guys don't like them either, so, yep. No, I haven't settled on a free PCB package yet. No, haven't had time to compare them. I really want to do a hands-on comparison of all the major packages, but whoa, questions scrolled off. But yeah, it's a time thing. It's amazing how much time you don't have, even when you're doing this full time. Who needs ham radio now we have the internet? Yeah, good point, Mike. You know, it's fun. You know, it's fun from an electronics point of view and seeing how far you can get. Like, that's the thing. I reckon if you're going to get a ham license, then you get into it properly, and you build. Well, you don't have to build your own rig, but you buy rigs and you muck around with antennas and you actually talk to people over radio and see how far you can get, and you string up your whole backyard with massive arrays of antennas, and and you do it at 2 a.m. in the morning when the atmospheric conditions are better, and you try and see how far you can get. I think that's, good fun. But yeah, but apart from that, getting your ham license and then just hanging out with hams, I don't, if you're not actually going to do the real ham radio stuff, like actually try and transmit and things like that, then I don't see the point. Oh, there's an open-ended question from MK007. How do you choose a part when there's many good to choose from, but the choose affect other choosers? Lost in translation there. Yeah, I understand your question though. How do you choose parts when there's so many very similar parts out there? Well, you end up probably sorting by, I've done a blog on it, choosing parts, using the DigiKey parametric searches and other parametric searches on the manufacturer's website. And ultimately, well, you're going to choose by price, really. Usually, if there's identical devices with identical specs in the same package with the same availability, you're just going to go with the cheapest one ultimately. That's probably the end result of that. But usually when you get down to it, when you sort through the specs that you need, in the end you come down to only a couple of parts usually. So unless you're using like a common, let's say you're using an LM324 op amp or something like that, then well, you've got a dozen different manufacturers to choose from, grey market parts to choose from, and it literally just comes down to price because the specs are all the same and the package is the same. So Adafruit peaks at 180, does it? Question is from Ivan. Is taking things apart a normal part of the show? Not really. We tried to on a couple of live shows. We tried to take things apart, but because I don't have a multi-camera setup, it's really hard, and there's a limited lead length here, a very limited lead length going to the webcam. And then even though my camera's sitting on the tripod, not connected to the mains, it's actually working from the battery, I can take that over to here and put it on the bench, but then only the people who watch the recorded show are going to get the info. So yeah, my webcam doesn't reach over to the other bench, and I can do it next to here. I could maybe try and tilt the camera down. I've tried to do that before, but oh, it's all just, yeah, unfortunately it's all just too hard. I probably need like an extension. What I need is just an extension lead for the webcam, so that, like a 2 meter USB extension cable, so I can just move it around. But yeah, it takes time, and people have so many questions that any new interest in board houses, asked Lum. No, afraid not. A few people that keep coming out with names. I don't know, there's so many, I'm losing track. Any more questions? I think I've lost the scroll here. It's not automatically scrolling. Sorry if I lost any questions. Yeah, from Chipmunk. If the ads are targeted, then, well, I don't think people would mind too much if I actually said the ads myself, rather than just, insert big booming American voice, that jumps in with an absolutely terrible voiceover ad. That'd be video ad. That'd be awful. But yeah, in video ads, and they're permanent, you can't take them out of the video later. Because if people don't know, once I upload something to YouTube, I can't re-upload a new version of the video later. To do that, I've got to delete the old one, and then I lose the embedded link and the hyperlinks. I lose the stats. I lose everything. YouTube don't have that capability. It's crazy. I wish they would add that so that you can actually change the video at a later date. Sure, they got technical reasons for that, especially for us partners who actually sign up, and you make money from the ads, and they vet the content to make sure it's okay. They don't want you signing up, getting the ad revenue, and then changing the video at a later point. I think that might be the reason, one of the reasons. Satcha JJ asked, does it look like the EEVblog and odd consulting jobs will be enough for income? Yes, it does. as of like literally, yeah, Mike, the cash versus alienating viewers in videos might be a tipping point. Yeah, I just don't want to go there. It's horrid. Yes, to answer your question, I may, I've got to scroll down here to catch up with the scrolly window. Yes, the money should now be enough for me to stay full-time at this. So with the odd consulting job, which helps. And as of last week, it looks like I'm going to, I'll be getting some more money because I found a sponsor for the forum. And they, for the forum, and they want to replace the Google ad with their search bar, and it's a really good one. I'd even use it myself. So, yeah, and hopefully they'll be a long-term sponsor of the forum, and that will certainly, I can make a full-time living from this, doing the blog plus my little tiny bit of side consulting work I'm doing at the moment, which I don't know if that'll keep up or not. They haven't paid me yet. Haven't been paid once yet for my consulting since I've left Altium. They haven't. Yeah, a USB cable is $3. Yes, I need to buy one. Maybe after this, I'll go to the local computer shop and I'll buy a USB extension cable. Yeah, it's not hard. How's that? I'm actually watching this server stream, and Ustream seems to be working fantastically today. I cannot believe it. Touch wood, wooden bench. There you go. I can't. Usually it sucks. The people. How's the? Give me a now that we've got 133 people watching. How's the video lag? Hey George Graves is in the house. Hey George. Perfect, fine. Well over 3 feet, I don't know. Seems fine. Yeah, excellent quality. Wow. Awesome. Well, what I'll do, if it's so good, I'm going to turn it from 90% up to 95%. It should be even better now. How's that? Has the frame rate dropped at all? Oh crap, now you break it. No, not really. Still good. Little bit more lag. More lag. It's lagging more. Okay, I think I'll turn the... would you prefer a slightly less quality? I'll drop it down to 90% from 95 and keep up a faster lag. Because there's nothing worse than lag. I think people would prefer a grainy image than... yeah. 90 was better. Okay, yep, 90%. I've turned it back. All right. That's probably the sweet spot for my upload bandwidth, which is 128 kilobytes per second, or 1 megabit per second. Telstra. Bastards, they cap me. I can't give them money. I'm asking Telstra, I'll give you money. More money than my already $100 a month for my internet connection. I'll give you more if you give me more upload bandwidth. Because now that I upload in full HD, I have to leave the computer uploading to YouTube overnight. It takes like 6 hours or something, 8 hours to upload a huge video. It's just, oh man. Unbelievable. Yeah. And Telstra's response was, oh, you'll have to join a business plan or something like that. Bloody hell. Idiots. And they couldn't even give me info on that either. Hopeless. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I'm on cable, Chipmunk. Yep, I'm on cable. I can't use DSL here. My phone line is 5.5 kilometers from the exchange. Different to everyone on the street. Every other house on the street, well, they're actually on a more direct route. And they get good speed from DSL. I'm the only house. The guy came out to fix it. After 5 years, Telstra finally got around to sending somebody out to actually fix my problem. I was complaining for 5 years. Our telephone quality was crap, let alone DSL, because I was using DSL for quite a few years there, and it was shit. And they finally sent someone out, and the guy could not find the mapping info in the official Telstra, database of where all the wires go and all that sort of stuff. He had to go open every 10 manholes to trace where it actually went to. And he finally found it was, and he swapped the pairs, and it was a bit better. But I'm on some weird, trust me to buy a house that's got some weird ass bloody phone line in it. Oh boy. Haha, Australian accent. He sounds funny. Yeah, well, I'm Australian. What can I say? I'm Australian. Speak strine. Speaking strine. We tend to slur our words together, and we've got that. And it doesn't help that I've got that high-rising terminal as well. If people want to know, people keep asking that. What is my voice? Why do I talk high at the end of every sentence or every word or whatever it is? That I don't realise I'm doing it. But it's called a high-rising terminal. Google it. It's on Wiki. And that's what I've got. It's very common here in Australia. Especially for younger people like me. Older people don't necessarily have it. It's more of a younger generation, people who are like 80 now don't necessarily have it as much as people my age these days. Yeah, $100 a month. Yep, these things scroll pretty quick. Fund, EEVblog Inc. It's not Inc. here in Australia, it's PTY, LTY, or just limited if I was a public company. So yeah, I can't believe it. So thanks everyone for supporting me. Please keep supporting the sponsors, because the people who direct advertise on the website and stuff like that. I'm not allowed to say click on the YouTube ads and stuff like that. I'm not allowed to say that, so don't do that. But people who directly advertise on my website, they're the ones who give me my majority of my income. So I'm trying not to allow shit ads on there. So I've had quite a few people ask me to put ads on there, and they're not suitable. I just tell them to go away, even if they pay me money. I do want on-topic ads. So, and I'm probably I might have to start charging more now, because I'm getting so many people actually request ad space on my site now, which is great. But geez, I don't know. I've already got enough ads on there, man. So, yep, better Australian than American. No comment. Oh boy. Telstra Business. Oh, thanks, Bob. LT Bob. I won't be able to see that. It's scrolled off the page. It's forever lost. Maybe I can get that. If you email me that link, please, Bob, send me an email link to that Telstra Business plan. Maybe I can pay more. Yeah, and hopefully, if I get even more money from a forum sponsor, maybe I can go to a private server, because they're like $200, $300 a month or something like that. But at the moment, I'm still running the blog on 2 shared servers, really cheap, $10 a month shared servers, and it's still holding up. I can't believe it. The amount of traffic. I'm doing like 2 gig worth of traffic a month. And number of database accesses is phenomenal. I posted some stats on it once. I think I tweeted the image of the stats for the database accesses, and I can't remember the figure. What is it, 15 million per hour or something? It's crazy. It's absolutely phenomenal. Because everyone who accesses the blog page or the forum, every single thing is a database access. So yeah, it helps with caching and stuff. But MK, how does one model a DC motor? I don't know. It's hard. I haven't modeled a DC motor before. No, don't have a clue, I'm afraid. It'd be some sort of inductance, some sort of really complicated inductive thing. And then how do you model? And then how do you model the motor with a load or without a load? very. I assume it's going to be complicated. That'd be my guess. I'm sure you could estimate it. You know, you could estimate what load you've got, but it'd be motor specific. Every motor would be different, totally. Can you name and shame who offered to put a special search engine or whatever to sponsor the forums? Emma, you'll find out. No, surely, no, they're a good sponsor. No, I was more talking about people who want the in-video ads. No, I think everyone will like the forum sponsor. Yes, we're still in talks to do that, to get to replace the Google ad with, because the Google ads aren't that great on the forum. So yeah, just to replace that with one of their little search bars, which I'm sure everyone will like. So, oh, people ask this all the time on the forum from George EE. He's about to finish his electronics engineering degree and he wants to start an embedded electronics systems design as a master degree. Do I think it's worth the effort? Hard question to answer. It's probably never wasted effort. So if you're young enough and you've got the time and you've got the money and you've got the enthusiasm, probably do it. I'm not going to say no. But you can argue that it doesn't help you much in various industries, having a master's or a PhD or something like that. So yeah. Computer Freak 97 asks, what do I charge for ad space right now? It's not, I don't think it's a huge secret. $400 a month for ad space on the blog site. So, but some people pay less. Oh, hang on. But some people pay less. Like I do have a lower rate for people who they're just like a one-man band. They're setting up their site or something like that. So I do offer a discount on that. How do you make a question? You just ask a question, Nemo. Host Monster. Yes, I'm still using Host Monster. Mitch Patterson's in the house. Oh, sorry, I keep scrolling back up and then it doesn't auto scroll. What's my favourite way to desolder multi-pin dips? Asked George. Like 24-pin dips. Just a vacuum soldering pump. I much prefer to have like the the full-on proper vacuum pump with the trigger handle and the hose and the vacuum pump and the whole works. But those little, where is it? It's a mess. Yeah, these things work okay, but it takes you a while to sit there and it wears out your thumb. If you do that, there's a lot of pressure to push down that handle on that thing. And, if you do that couple hundred times because you want to desolder, you'll be thankful to get a. But I don't have one of those here because I've always had one at work. That's the problem, which I don't have access to anymore. I don't have access to work stuff anymore. Hence, I've now got myself a microscope I can solder under. I've got myself the hot air gun, which I've always had at work. I've never had to have one here, and other stuff I'm starting to get now. So, yeah. No, it's not DigiKey. Dengorius. Yeah, Mitch. Good question. Any news from Tronic? John from Tronic Stuff asks, any news from Tektronix about a new DSO to compete with Agilent 2000 3000 series? No, I'm afraid not. No news at all. Okay, I'm back on the scrolling window now. been going? Half an hour, 34 minutes. There you go. Time flies. Yeah, Ivan. You were thinking the same thing as me. There you go. John, could do in-video sponsorship ads like Twit. What, during the middle of the video? I don't know. I just don't like them. I just don't like them. I thought about maybe if somebody really wants to pay for pay big money, and I'm talking big money for an in-video ad, maybe they can sponsor a live show like this or something like that. You know, this live show is brought to you by, you know, Serious Cybernetics. And they could pay me a buttload. And because I don't think, if people are watching a 1.5, 2 hour live show, I don't think like a 15-second ad at the start of it is as much a big deal as it would be if it's just a regular, 10, 15, 20-minute video blog or something like that. Then it's just really annoying. But yeah, maybe sponsor a live show. I don't know. Isn't a bad idea, I guess. And yeah, sorry, but I've got to get money from somewhere. But I am avoiding the in-video ads. So I don't want to go back to work. I don't want to go back to a full-time job, 9 to 5. Nah. I'm having too much fun watching my little boy grow up. Little Sagan. Oh, it's great. And I think the wife is really warming. She can probably hear me, but warming to the fact that I'm home and I can help her out with the boy, so I think she likes that. I don't think she'd like me to go back to full-time 9 to 5 secretly. Yes, I saw resistors, Randy. I saw resistors by E12 up in the cabinet up there. I've shown it before on a previous live show. How do I sort caps? I've just got them in. They're just scattered everywhere. I don't sort values. I did at work. At work we had, I would sort them into ranges. So it'd be from, 10, be from 1 picofarad up to 100 puff, and then it'd be 100 puff to 1N to 10N, and I'd have a different draw for each one of those. So that's how I sorted caps. I didn't sort them into value into any E series like E6 or something. Although that's not a bad way to do it too. That's fine. No, JMC, 734. He suggests I should look into Amazon CloudFront for host. CloudFront. I haven't heard of CloudFront, but everyone keeps telling me I should use Amazon. Cloud hosting for all my files and stuff. But people don't realize it's massively expensive for the bandwidth I do. I'm doing like I think I said before it was 2 gigabytes per month or something. No, I do a couple of terabytes per month bandwidth. So if you actually go to Amazon and they've got like an online calculator, you calculate how much it's going to cost you to pay for the storage space and the bandwidth transfer rate for storing your files on the Amazon cloud, it's many hundreds of dollars a month. It's like $500, $700 a month for a couple of terabytes. And that's what I'm actually doing. I'm doing in the order of terabytes per month. It's hard to believe, but that's how much my blog, my forum, people downloading the podcast video files and stuff like that. It's crazy. So yeah, and even with the if I get enough money from the blog, I might be able to buy a private, what's the name for the static server? Private server? Anyone? Yeah, 2 terabytes. It's insane, but that's what I'm doing. Yes, I know. Wow. Because if you just do the math, right? Just for the Amp Hour radio show, right? The Amp Hour radio show. There's 2,000 people who download it each week, and each one is 30 megabytes, right? Get out your calculator, do the math, and it's half a terabyte, right? Just there, I think it is, or I think it's something like half a terabyte, and it's crazy. That's why these shared servers, even though they go down occasionally, at least they're for $10. They give you unlimited bandwidth. So it's crazy. Where was I? I was saying something. Virtual VPS, virtual private server. Thanks, Mitch. Yeah, VPS. Even if you pay $200-300 a month, they actually limit you in bandwidth. They don't give you infinite bandwidth like a $10 shared plan gives you. It's crazy. So yeah, they usually limit the plans to like they limit it to 1 terabyte a month or something like that. If you want 2 terabytes, you've got to pay an extra $100 a month. It's like, wow, I can't imagine having, I can't imagine doubling my number of viewers again. It'd be, man, it's crazy. Anyway, might have to bite the bullet eventually and get a virtual private server, dedicated server or whatever it's called. Yeah, dedicated root server, but they're not cheap. Yeah, Lurk plus, but yeah, it might be cheap at $120 a month, but just look at the bandwidth you use. The bandwidth is the killer. Most people don't have the bandwidth, which I have. Oh, $35 a year for 1 terabyte a month. Yeah, but any virtual server also has to have a cPanel. I want cPanel because I'm not geeky enough to learn to use a root server and Linux and all that crap. I now don't have the time to learn it. I want cPanel. So anyway, I'll let you know. Maybe in a month or two, I might be able to let you know that if I'm capable of financially going to a virtual private server. If it is only $35 a year, then yeah, I'll do it now. But $35 a year. A year, not a month. Wow. Ones I've been looking at are $100, $200 a month for a virtual private server. Question from Mishima Beef. Good name. I've had 3 summer jobs with some big electric utility company. What worries me is that I haven't really contributed anything to the company. Oh, there's a second part to his question. This is a good question. Most of the time we are just assigned busy workout career advice. Sources say to what? Stress-proven results and how much money I have saved my employers. Should I be worried? Oh, right. That you think you have to prove to your employer how much money you've wasted. No. Most businesses, especially big, medium to big companies, are a crapshoot. What I mean by that is that they just, they really, they just throw money. They hire people, as many people as they think they need, and they throw money at resources, and on average, they hope that they're going to, they balance it so that they're going to make a profit and at the end of the year. And they really don't care how much the individual contributes, whether or not they're actually earning their money compared to someone else. Someone else might be 5 times more productive on the same wage than somebody else, but they'll still be happily keep both because they're, that's just how big companies work. So don't be worried about trying to prove to your employer that you're earning your yearly wage and you've made X profit for them and all that. Don't worry about that crap, because they usually don't. They just, they go, can you do your job? That's all they care about. And then the rest of the other, it all comes out in the wash, really. It's all just one big slush fund. So you have to prove that you can do your job. Worry about that. Worry about that you're actually good and you're knowledgeable and you're not an idiot. That's what you need to worry about, is that are you useful to them? Did you see this great resistor box using cheap thumbwheel switches? Thoughts? Yes, I did, George. I saw that on the forum. George has linked to a resistor box. I thought about doing a new resistor box as a project because I've got one. I've showed it off on the blog. Not on the blog. I showed it off on the live show before. I built that when I was a kid. And I was thinking about doing a new version of it, like a super low cost. Yeah, trying to figure out the best way to do it, and probably so that people could make their own, because they're very common and they're very useful. Just host from your home. No. My upload speed. They only give me 200 gigabytes per month, I'm afraid. Telstra, they upped it from 20 to 200. I was amazed. And no, considering I do a couple of terabytes per month bandwidth transfer, it's not going to work, I'm afraid. Whew, hang on, I've lost the scroll again. Sorry. Got to stop doing that, got to stop scrolling up. If it goes off the screen, I've lost it. Or I've got to remember to scroll back down. Best way to go from 5 volts DC to 450 volts DC, asks Thorberg. Using a flyback step up. Yeah, step up DC to DC converter. You can get them. You get 450 starts to get to the border where it gets difficult, or just not difficult, but just really annoying kind of thing. It depends how much current you want. Do you actually, is it just like a absolute microamps? You know, is it very low power, or is it other way? That will determine. You know, if you do it at a reasonable power level, it's not easy. But yeah, there's plenty of look up high voltage backlight drivers or something like that. You might be able to get some circuits from there. Oh, right. I didn't answer his question properly. How I was asking for future employers, how do you prove that you did good in my last job? Right, okay. I've said that bring along examples of your work to your next job interview. They'll be impressed. So if you actually built something, make sure you get a copy of it before you leave the company. Or even photos, at least if you built $1 million widget, you can't take it with you, but you know, if you can document it, take your copies of your documentation and your photos and stuff like that. I'm not a big fan of the referee and the reference and all that sort of stuff. References are shit. If I go to an employer and if I'm going for a job and they ask me for references, I will instantly have a very low opinion of that company. If I'm sitting in front of them, right, sitting face to face, they can ask me questions, do whatever, and if they can't judge me there and then on the spot whether or not I'm, you know, it doesn't matter, take hours, take all your time. If they can't judge me on the spot and they'd rather take the word of someone who I've obviously set up and they don't even know from a bar of soap, you know, then they're just idiots, and I don't really want to work for them. So yeah, references, I hate them, despise them, stupid, waste of time. Lance, what's that under there? Underwear? Underwear under the bench? No, I haven't seen Arc Attack. I have no idea what Arc Attack is. Nemo? Yeah, Mike, got it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, a flyback transformer is the way to go with that power supply step up to 450. Enough to fly to the moon. Yes, you can fly to the moon on 0.5 milliamp. Yeah, Zadster, Cockcroft Walton multiplier. I keep forgetting that name. Chipmunk says a lot of companies would have issues with you taking the documentation with you, especially American ones. Anything you do on work's time belongs to them. Tough shit. I don't get, you know, not necessarily take along all the documentation, but take along a blank board that you've laid out. Come on, who's going to care? If you know, once again, I wouldn't want to work for that person. If I'm being interviewed and I give them an example of my work and they go, "Ooh, we don't trust you anymore because, well, if you work for us, you'll go show our shit to someone else." Well, come on. You're showing something to somebody in confidence in a job interview is nothing like releasing it to the public and shit like that. So I'm going to have a low opinion of them too if they do that. So, yeah, I don't believe in that either. Maybe American companies, nobody here in Australia would have a problem with that at all. If they did, they'd be so tied up, no one would ever work for them. I said underwear. No, I said underwear. 2 words. Oh, I can hear my baby boy. Can you hear him? Should I go get him? Should I go put him on the live show? Oh, yes, the red bins. Yeah, they're little red bins. I've shown those before. How accurate is frequency measurement on a Rigol scope? Is it close to external frequency counter? It's dependent on the built-in oscillator, which is probably 20 ppm or something. It isn't that great. So probably it's on par with a cheap $100 frequency counter that you'd buy on eBay or something, but not, a good quality frequency counter might use a 1 ppm time base, and then again, order of magnitude more than that might use a 0.1 ppm time base for a much higher end frequency counter. So they're similar. Seeing Sega will be cool. Live baby puke on camera. Yeah, I held him up just before the live, just before recording the amp hour the other day, and I was holding him up. I was actually showing him to Jerry, and he puked, and he just projectile puked, and it just missed the keyboard. Let me go and have a look. Oh, look. Hey, everyone. Sagan's in the house. Sagan's here. Wave. Hey, Sagan. Look. Look. Wave to everyone. Hello. Isn't he cute? Yes, he's a super cutie. I am not biased, but yes, the world's cutest baby. Quite possibly. Hey. Hey, aren't you adorable? Yay. Don't puke over the keyboard, please, because my first live show, we destroyed the computer, didn't we? Yes, or you weren't born then, were you? No. And so, yeah, don't want him to puke over the keyboard. That would be really embarrassing. What's the power consumption? He's absolutely adorable. Isn't my baby boy Sagan? I think he's got the world's longest eyelashes. I'm sure you can't see them. He's very cute. Very cute, aren't you? Yes, what are you looking at? He loves staring at bright lights like the screen here and the camera, don't you? Hey? Yay. Look at that. Sorry, he doesn't do much else apart from that, apart from stare at the moment. He might smile occasionally. He's about 10 weeks. Oh, the wife's here to take him. She's here. Oh, she's on camera. There's the arm. the magic arm. Comes into shot. There we go. Come here, puppy. Oh, he doesn't want to go. He was liking it here. There's my wife. There she is. We've got 150 people watching now.
All right.
She's on. All right.
Say bye. Bye, bye Daddy.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Oh, yes, he likes the lab. Oh, he's looking at stuff. I think he's eyeing off that analog meter up there. Oh, yay. Good boy. Is it feed time?
Now would be a bad time for that projectile vomiting.
Yes.
It's like it hasn't eaten yet, so not quite.
There you go. That's my wife. There you go, guys. You got to see her. And the baby. Everyone says hi.
Hello.
There you go. I thought that was only going to be a special for people who turned up early. She was on camera before as well. If you turned up before 10 a.m, you got to see her. But it looks like everyone's got to see her now, and she'll be on the recording. Goodness. Maybe I'll have to, actually get edit it so it takes out a face or something like that. Maybe she won't like being on YouTube forevermore. Yes. Projectile vomiting over the keyboard, that would be bad. Oh, man. Oh, they could just check my Flickr. Yeah, there's probably photos up on Flickr. Yeah. Whatever. There's photos of my wife all over the net, so it doesn't matter. In a good way, by the way. Master Burner's in bed now. He couldn't stay upright on my chair anymore. It's like 2 a.m. in the morning there. Good on you, Master Burner. Will I do an FPGA tutorial video? Yes, I've been thinking about it. It's on the list. Time, motivation, all that sort of stuff. If you got questions about which board I should use, because I don't really want to use a, like an Altium Nano board or something like that. It's not exactly the world's cheapest hobbyist board. It's okay value, but yeah, don't really want to use that. So yeah, I think there's a couple out there. What's that? The Papillo or something? Is it? Xilinx versus Altera. I have a slight preference for Altera, maybe. I don't know. There's not much in it. There's not much difference between Xilinx and Altera, really. I find the Altera tools a bit better, but that's about all. Yeah, but I'm not huge. I did FPGAs for a living, hardware-wise, but all the soft side of the stuff, I'm not that great at it. Can I do more basic vids like the soldering series? Oh yeah, what more basic stuff do you want to see? Hopefully. I haven't done an advanced tutorial thing for a long time. Everyone keeps asking for, easy beginner stuff, and that's the one that gets all the views and stuff like that. So, I don't know, I've seen... have to mix it up, I guess. Have to do more tutorials. People love the tutorials, but they take a lot of time. So do the reviews as well. Everything takes time. Oh, goodness, It's amazing. I do this full time now, and I still don't have time to do anything. I don't know how I had any time before when I didn't. But yeah, Sagan takes up a lot of time, and and other things. So what I want to do though is, I've mentioned this before, is I want to get out more. I want to get out of the lab more and interview people and visit places. There's not a huge amount in Sydney, but the more I think about it, the more I think of more things to go out and blog on site. And I already have a list of like a half a dozen places and people and things I want to visit and show off on the blog. So yeah, I was waiting for my new camera, so I've got my new camera. I was waiting for my long life batteries for the new camera. I've got those. I'm waiting for a new wireless mic. So yeah, then I'll be set to go out on the road and film stuff. So that'll be really cool, I think. Anyway, I find it quite interesting. So we've got 145 people. Is that our peak? I think that's probably our peak. That's pretty impressive. Do I find CPLDs useful? Not for the kind of stuff I do. No, not anymore. I've used them on a couple of projects over the years, but I actually find CPLDs a bit more useful than FPGAs, actually. Because they're smaller, lower power, easier. But it depends entirely on stuff you're doing. Depends on what you're doing. Most of the stuff I do can be done with a micro, and is better done by a micro, not an FPGA or a CPLD. So, could I use a breadboard to show Atmel PIC project design? Well, yeah. What I've had on the list for ages is everyone does Arduino tutorials, and I want to do a tutorial that how to use micros from scratch. You know, like not using an Arduino like just a raw micro like a PIC or an Atmel, and how to do it from scratch. And it's a lot of work, but I really want to do that. So I'm really gonna, one day I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna do that today, and I'm just gonna sit down and I'm gonna do it. Oh, what's Dorkbot in Sydney? Mike? Is there something coming up? Dorkbot. I've heard of it, but I had no idea it's in Sydney or whatever. Is it? Oh, it might even be a group. Is it? See you, Solar Storm. And Mishima Beef again is really a gun with the questions tonight. Today, tomorrow, this morning. It's 11 AM. All these time zones. What kind of projects can I get involved in that would help me get into the field of designing real-world, renewable, sustainable energy projects? Oh, wow. Energy harvesting is a good one. That's all the fad these days. Get into solar projects, solar charging systems, line inverters. That's a big complex thing, doing line inverters. But if you can get into decent, inverters, you can usually buy them. But there are a lot of companies now designing line inverters for feeding solar power back into the grid and stuff like that. There's real good niche design opportunities there, and that's really complex, stuff. So yeah, I know it depends if you want to get into power. If you want to get into, power, energy and electronics and stuff like that. Yeah, so you really have to decide there whether you're going to get into power stuff or low power stuff to do energy monitoring systems or something. They'd use microcontrollers, and they'd use Ethernet, and they'd use whatever, because they're all hooked up, they're all web enabled these days. Okay, so yeah, so Dorkbot is a group, is it? Okay, well, if there's a Dorkbot in Sydney, I might go visit. There's heaps of places. There's quite a few places in Sydney I want to visit. Now that I've got the time, I don't have to go to 9 to 5 work. Anyone got any Altium questions? Actually, I've got to be careful there. Yeah, the MSP, I was going to mention that, John. John P mentioned the MSP 430 processor. They're big in the low power industry. So, which, energy monitoring stuff, a lot of them use MSP 430s. So I'd say if you're going to pick a micro that might be useful for getting a job in the renewable energy industry, odds are the MSP 430 is a good bet. So I would go there. Yes, Jerry did some energy harvesting videos. I've got an energy harvesting kit. Maybe I'll do something with it. I should. I've had it for ages. Had it for like 6 months. Haven't done a thing. Okay. There's no more questions. Come on, guys. Questions. Now's the time. Alan Yates has done a good wireless power video. I don't think I can beat that. It's like 40-50 minutes long. It's brilliant. I even posted it on my blog once. He's done this excellent YouTube video. So wireless power stuff. Yeah, he's done an awesome video on that. How do power companies phase lock to the grid? I've got no idea. I'm not really into power stuff, I'm afraid. I know very little about it. But I know they do keep their generators. They actually spin their generators at 50, at a certain frequency that locks to the grid, and they try and keep it all locked in frequency-wise. That's about the limit of my knowledge there. Could I show my computer microscope I use for soldering SMD? I don't use a computer microscope. I've only got... This is my Olympus brand. It's very old. It's a very old model. I got it on eBay. But it's... There you go. Olympus Tokyo. Oh, if you can see it. There you go. Yeah, somebody said like it's a 1960s model or something when I showed it, but it's made in Japan. It's really nice, got high quality optics, and it's got 7 times to 40 times zoom. You don't really need 40, but 7 and up, 7 or 8 times is really good for SMD, fine SMD soldering, really fine stuff. You probably don't need more than 10 or something like that to go for. That's okay for really inspecting stuff. So I've got that. Oh, I better turn that down. I'm running out of space here. Actually, remind me to tell you about my lab expansion. The expansion of the lab here. Anyway, I've got that, and I've got this X-Tech MC108 microscope, which I've used in a couple of videos. It's not that great. It's not good. You can't use it for soldering under, but for inspecting boards, inspecting solder joints, it's not too great for that. But checking out IC, like numbers on IC chips, I find that really handy for that. It's very expensive though, hugely expensive. I'm not sure about those cheap USB microscopes you can get, what they're good for soldering under. I'm sure other people have tried to use them. Some people say they're really great. Yeah, I would like to have like a big screen in front of me with a microscope, and actually, and the image shows up huge on the screen, stuff like that. That'd be okay. But I just haven't bothered. I just solder it under the microscope if it's small enough. Can you swap nickel metal hydride for NiCad cell at very low charge rates? Yes, off hand, I believe you can. But there's slight differences. Oh, I've even done a paper on that somewhere. Geez, that was a while back. What product generally has an FPGA in it? Asked John P. Really, stuff like FPGAs, really high-end stuff that has to do a lot of fast parallel processing. Lots of real-time stuff. You'll maybe find them in very high-end TVs. I think you used to find them in, the early plasma TVs and stuff like that had FPGAs. They've probably got dedicated chipsets now, but anything that really needs massively parallel instant processing, you know, real-time stuff that a sequential processor, even a fast DSP can't keep up with, or even a, you know, a very fast Intel processor or something can't keep up with. So that's what you'll typically find FPGAs in. And some of the high-end FPGAs, I've used FPGAs that cost a couple of $1,000s each. Each chip, one FPGA chip, a real high-end one, can cost a couple of $1,000s. Very expensive stuff. So, and they're usually massive, like big 1200 pin BGAs. And yeah, you solder that one wrong and you're in trouble. You've got to have a big budget for using big FPGAs. Lab expansion. Yes. Hang on. It's questions. Can I use a simple coax for external trigger on my oscilloscope? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. There's no reason. It depends on what you're probing, what you're taking your external trigger signal from. But yes, if it's coming from a suitably low impedance source, yes, you can use a simple coax for your external trigger. Otherwise, you would just use a ×10 probe. And it depends on the speed as well and all sorts of stuff. So, but then we'd have to get into probes and probing and loading, capacitive loading of cables and all that sort of stuff. Should do a blog on that. I think I've said that for years. I'll do a blog on that. Question, what about your experience with working, ask Andre with an O. What about your experience with working times in your former companies? Have they been very strict about working times and break times and so on? I work for a small software company here and it was very, very nice, almost like working at home. Now I'm working for a bigger company, feels like a prison. Have you had similar experiences, made similar experiences? Most of them have been quite flexible. Certainly my former company, Altium, extremely flexible. Make your own hours, pretty much. Turn up anytime you like. You even had the flexibility of working from home if you wanted to. Via the net, you know, you could, not Skype in, you could do a VPN, virtual private network, onto your desktop machine at work. And you could, yeah, and you could work from there. So very, very flexible hours. Is very common in the engineering industry, unless you're working for some, a bunch of dickheads. I've had ones, I've never had a job where if I would turn up 10 minutes late, they would be standing there going, you're late. You know, we're going to dock you 10 minutes pay. That doesn't happen in professional industries much at all. Engineering type industries I've found in Australia anyway. So... okay, Chipmunk. 2 milliamp charge into button cells designed for NiCad. Yeah, you'll find you'll be able to feed those into a NIMH, no problems. Yeah, the thing with nickel metal hydride is that they are exothermic. So if you continue to charge them, they will build up pressure internally. But if it's low enough, and don't quote me, but if it's lower than 0.1 C, you can float charge them indefinitely without damage. I think it's less than 0.1 C at very low. But it has bad ramifications for the usable life of the battery. So if, you know, yes, you can safely charge nickel metal hydride at below 0.1 C continuously all the time. You can float charge them, I believe. I've done research in this area, but I can't remember. It's been a long time ago. But it will have effects on the usable cycle life of the battery. So that's a trade-off you get, but you can safely do it. You want an EEVblog anti-static lab coat. What would an EEVblog anti-static lab coat look like? Would it just have EEVblog? Mine's got HAL on it. If you've seen my lab coat, if you watch the videos, it's got HAL. HAL as in it's a joke for 2001: A Space Odyssey, and it's sewn into there, but only because it had my former company, Tallies, and it had their name on it. And I stitched and I took out a couple of the letters, and it got HAL, H-A-L. So that's what's on my lab coat. That's the one I did, like the I've done several videos in my lab coat. Oh, I don't really want to expand on that one. Chipmunk, what gives cable its bandwidth limits? Yeah, it's loss, transmission line. You have to get into then you get into transmission lines, and you get into transmission line loss and stuff like that. And but yeah, it's a whole combination of things: the capacitance, the quality of the dielectric, the shielding, all sorts of things. Yep. And if you don't know how scope probes work, I won't get one. But yeah, scope probes are a lossy transmission line. They're not actually like, they're not just a bit of coax. They're actually, well, they're constructed like a coax, but the inner cable is actually a lossy, an actual high resistance lossy wire. So it's actually a lossy transmission line, and that's how they get good flat performance over a broad frequency range. My mate Doug Ford's got an excellent paper on his website, which he did. He actually investigated stuff like that, and he shows simulations and things like that. So if you're really interested in how scope probes work, then go to I'll type it in. dfad.com.au. There you go. Go to Doug's website, and he's got articles there, and you can download his article which he had published in Silicon Chip about how scope probes work. It's really fascinating. And he actually derived it from first principles or something, and he simulated it and went through the whole thing, and then he took apart a scope probe, and yeah, it's great. So yeah, I could do a blog on that, but I wouldn't add anything more that Doug's hasn't already done. I'm sorry, Dave, I can't do that right now. Oh dear. HAL. Yes, HAL is IBM, is one letter less than IBM. HAL is one less than IBM. So the old theory goes. People claim that HAL was chosen deliberately to be... yeah, somebody else remembers the 0.1C or less charging rate too for nickel metal hydrides. Oh yes, the lab expansion. Would you need a bigger lab for future projects? Yeah, it'd be nice. Having a bigger lab is always... but yeah. Yes, somebody, JMC put the link for the Secret World of Probes that Doug Ford did back in October '09. There you go. Yeah, what I want to do is, hopefully everyone can see it here. Let me, I'll try and pan around, okay? Everyone thinks my lab is big. It is not. It is tiny. Look. Okay, got my measure. I actually haven't measured it yet. Let's measure it. Alright. I always nominally say it's about 2.5 meters, and I think I'm right. Hang on. 2.5, yep, it's 2.5 meters in that direction from one wall to the other, and this makes great video, doesn't it? Watching me use a measuring tape, and technically it's 2.5. Oh. There you go. It is 2.5 meters across like this by 2 meters deep. That's how big my lab is. That's all the room I've got in there. That's all the room my wife lets me have in the entire house, apart from my study, which I'm not allowed to keep electronics gear in there. I do occasionally, but you know. And if I'm working on like a PC project, like a microcontroller hooked up or something, I'll work on the bench in the study. You know, and I can take a scope in there and work, but I can't solder in there. I can't do any of that stuff. So this is all I've got. And what I want to do, okay, let's see if we can pan around here. So, oh, that's no good. Anyway, I'll get rid of these because I'm still in the process of remodeling everything. But basically, there we go. Can we see now? All right, there's my car. Okay, so my car really backs up to, like, it almost noses directly into the lab. And I had this brilliant idea. All right, there we go. I had this brilliant idea that I would put a wall up. I've got these cabinets up. I've got these cabinets up here on the wall, so hopefully you can see that. I hand built these cabinets up here, but there's a gap between there. And I was thinking about putting a wall here with a door so I can keep all the concrete and other crap and dust out. And I was thinking about having a third bench. This is the thing I want. Actually having a third bench. Sorry, the webcam and the other the other camera doesn't line up too well. But yeah, I want to have a third bench which actually extends over the bonnet of the car here. So it would actually go out like that, and then I'd have a wall going up to the ceiling, and maybe it have windows in it or something, but that would keep out the dust, and then I can acoustically do, you know, I can treat the walls with acoustic panels and stuff like that, and it would sound a bit better than the echoey thing I've got at the moment. So that's the idea, is that actually have a bench which extends over the bonnet of the car, and then it's anchored to the roof like that, and then I get a third bench. And then I'd have to chop off the corner of this bench here. If you have a look down here, then I'd only have about this much space to walk through, so I'd have to go to the side. So I'd have to saw off like a corner of this bench, and hopefully I'd have a door there, and that would work. So that is the plan. And the white, can you see me again? Sorry, got to bend that up. And the wife the wife didn't like it at first, but I think she's warming up to it. So she's warming up to the idea. So there you go. Is that crazy or what? Buy a smart car. Yeah, that's the other option, is to buy a shorter car, and I could put up a full wall, but yeah, I can always do that. Once I get the bench in place, it goes over the bench. Then if I buy a shorter car, it just fits anyway. So, and then I've got storage space under the bench instead of the nose of the car coming under the bench like that. So, so is that crazy or what? Please stop me if you think that's just like the dumbest idea in history. But it'll be very claustrophobic in here. So it'll be no more than 2.5 meters by 3 meters long. And if I put a door in there, it'll be enclosed. And so it's a small lab. It's a very small lab. Someone's laughed at Randy's comment. Mount the third bench to the car bonnet. A mobile bench. Yeah. Boot. You open the boot of the car and there's all the test instruments and everything, you know. That'd be great. What's the story behind the license plate? The out of time license plate. I've mentioned, everyone knows about that. I'm a fan of Back to the Future. So that's the official, you know, that's the genuine, well, it's not the one that they used in the movie, but it is a genuine replica out of time number plate. California number plate. It's got the genuine, like the actual stickers that are that were in the movie, like California 86, you know, and yeah, it's that's a prop replica, and I've just really adopted that because I think it's quite a nice. I just think it's a good slogan for the. It's a good thing to have in there because I'm always out of time. You know, it's a good thing to have in the background. I think I'm always out of time to do the blog, so I like it. Works well. Anyway, that's the idea. I want to expand the lab. And I'll show, you know, if I do it, I'll show like video, I'll do like, you know, keep everyone up to date on how it's going. And that'd be great. So, how am I doing for time? Microwave pizza. Oh, 11:30. It's an hour. Has it been an hour and a half? You're kidding. Oh, yeah, she's going to come and drag me out soon. Oh, sorry, guys. See, the time flies. This is why I don't have time to take things apart or do anything else. I just yap on, talk to you guys on the forum here, or the IRC chat window, and hour and a half, gone. Poof. Yeah, she's got some idea. She wants me to drag me out. You know, we're taking the kids somewhere. She wants to get out of the house, I think. That's the thing. So, yeah, I'll just keep going until she comes and tells me to bugger off. Where did I get it? The number plate. I got it on eBay. I'm not sure if you can still buy it. No idea. Oh, Mitch, do I stockpile videos or do I release them as soon as they're done? Do I keep them in the can, which is the industry term? No, I pretty much always release them as soon as they're done. I don't stockpile because then it mucks up the numbering system. So no, I typically upload them as soon as they're done. Very rarely do I keep them back. Do I hold them back for some specific reason? And unless it's like, you know, there's a date I have to release it on, like the Agilent one, I had to release it right on that date, so I stockpile. I did, actually, yeah, I think I only did 2 videos or something, and then, yeah, I did the review on the teardown of the 2000, and I kept them there until the date, until the exact hour that they wanted me to release it, and bang. And here's some speculation. I have, there may be another one of those with a company that shall remain nameless. There might be another embargoed thing. So, not allowed to say anymore. Sorry. I don't even know anything. I couldn't tell you if they haven't told me what it is yet. If it sucks, I won't do it. But if it's really cool, you'll eventually see the video of it. So, yeah, if there's any more questions, you better ask them before the wife comes and drags me away. Where do I mount mains power plug strips for devices on a bench? Well, I've got... Can you see that? I've got like a strip of... hopefully you can see that. Yeah, I've got a strip of power points under there, and I've got more power boards behind there. I have to actually redo that. I'm in the process of redoing my power system, so half of my instruments are not actually hooked up at the moment. They're not powered. I have to jockey loose leads around at the moment. But yeah, I want to put them into proper banks and label everything and, yeah, do all that sort of stuff. So, no, I don't have a USB hub yet, Andrew. I'm desperately in need of a USB hub. I need to spend $2 and go and buy one. For some reason, I haven't done it. My notebook's only got 4 USB ports, and I've got to hook up the external mouse. I've got to hook up, you know, there's the printer, of course, and there's my speakers. I've got external monitor speakers, and then there's webcams, and then there's external mics for the radio show, and there's all sorts of stuff. And then I've got memory sticks and things to plug in, and Man. What about the Art of Electronics doco? Unfortunately, Carl von Moller, you need to, if you want the latest on the doco, follow his tweets. Yes, someone, what's his Twitter name? Is it? Yeah, he's got 2 Twitter accounts. Digital Hack. Digital Hack, there you go. If you follow Digital Hack, and I think it's Carl von Moller is his other account. And he'll keep you up to date with anything that's happening on the doco, but unfortunately he's been overseas working, he's got to earn a living, and so the doco's had to take a back seat for a while. I don't know, I haven't asked him in a while. I'm sure he's watching. Hey Carl, if you are, please tell us what's the update on the spend $5 on the hub. Yeah, don't spend $2, you get ripped off. Yeah, I need a bloody hub. What's that under the hot air station? Oh, good question there. It is a well, I won't move the camera again. It is a rack mount high voltage power supply. It's a Xantrex ZFR 300-4, and it's been sitting there for ages, and when I tried to power it up, it doesn't work. Hang on, is that video still working? Yes, it is. It doesn't work, and I have to figure out why. I want to fix it if it doesn't work, or I don't know if I'm just being dumb and I haven't set the interlocks properly, because it's a high voltage power supply. It's got all these safety interlocks, and it won't turn on the output unless you cross your fingers and and do all sorts of stuff, and you talk to it nicely. Lum asked, I need a new multimeter. Should I get a Fluke 87.5 or something from Gosson? Well, if you've got enough money, I'd buy a Gosson. Gossons are great. I love my Gosson. I don't like the probes that come with them. The 4mm banana plug probes with the real blunty end point on them. They're hopeless. But apart from that, yeah, the Gosson's a really nice meter. Yep. If I had to keep one meter, if I was only allowed to keep one, it would be the Gosson MetroHit Energy. No question at all. That's the one I would keep. So yeah, it's just, but it's like, that's like $1,200 or something, or like $1,000. It's, oh man, but it's, geez, it's nice. I just love it. I love the Gosson meters. See Mike salivating now at the high voltage PS. It's not that high voltage. It's only 300 volts. They're 300 volts at 4 amps though. It's 1,200 watts. So yeah, it's it's a big beast. Yeah, very nice. Digital adjust, all sorts of PC communication, all sorts of stuff. So yeah. What do I use to record my desktop videos with the screen captures? I use Cam Studio, a program called Cam Studio. I think it is. Yes, Cam Studio. It's open source. It's really good. So that's Cam Studio. Somebody asked that before, W2, about my ham radio license. No is the answer. Yeah, I don't like high voltage MK007, but I don't know. It might be useful. Either that or I'll sell it. Yeah, 300 volts, says Mike. Blah. Meh. Pathetic. Yeah, 300 volts ain't much. But it is high power. It is 1,200 watts, so it's not bad. I don't know what I'd do with it. So if I fix it, I'd probably sell it. I don't have the room for it. Jeez, I really don't. See you, Microwave Pizza. He's being dragged out by the ear by his other half, presumably. Thanks. Oh, the ads have popped up again, have they? Yeah. There must be lag on my typing shows up before I say it. That's funny. Here we are, try that. Test. There we go. Yeah, I find Cam Studio works a treat. It's great. I set it. The way I get good image quality on that is I set it to exactly... Well, before I did my videos in 1280 by 720, so I'd set the capture window to exactly 1280 by 720, so that when I render the video in the video editing software, it doesn't have to drop pixels, it doesn't have to compress or extrapolate, it doesn't have to do anything. It just does pixel for pixel, and that's how I get good image quality on my screen captures, because I use the exact size window, 1280 by 720. But now I shoot in 1440 by 1080, so I have to change it. But the annoying thing is that my notebook screen isn't that big. I've got to use my external screen. I use a two screen system now, and yeah, I need an even bigger monitor. I've only got an external 22-inch. It's crazy. No, I shoot in 1440 by 1080, which people think that's a 4:3. It's not. It's 16:9. It's got a pixel aspect ratio of 1.333. So when you edit it, and when you view it on YouTube or anything else, it views as 16:9 widescreen. So there you go. The door's opening. Yes?
Yes, you know what time it is.
No, I don't. What's the time?
I can hear you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
You can't hear me. It's not. Oh, it's 11:40. I didn't know.
Rubbish.
Sorry.
Rubbish.
When do I have to finish up?
Well, the sun is fading and I'm hungry.
She says the sun is fading and she's hungry. That means I've got to go. Can you give me 5?
Yeah.
5, 10? All right. Thanks. There you go. I've been told. I'm busted. Yeah. So, okay, we've got 5-10 minutes tops, guys. So if you've got any last minute questions. How many? Yeah, the numbers are dropping off too. We've only got 117 now. People didn't see any technical shit happening, so they buggered off, you know. Oh, man. I love it. Oh, boy. Sun fading at noon. Yeah, the weather's terrible here at the moment. It's just crap. I think she wants to go out and take the baby out. And we've got to go on the baby schedule now when the baby gets fed. So, you know, we schedule our lives around when the baby gets fed. Yep. How's the calculator watch coming along? Unfortunately, it's not, Randy. No. I'd love to get back into it. Now I've got more time. Possibly, I was just talking about it on the HP Museum forum. Because if you don't know, HP are releasing the 15C again. They're releasing the original 1980s vintage 15C calculator. Huge news. So maybe that'll spark my interest in retro calculators again. I'd love to. There's so many trade-offs in designing a calculator watch. The Mark II version I've worked on several times. I've been very close to ordering a PCB, even getting prototype boards and stuff and doing the case and everything. I've come very close many times, and I just never push that go button because I always think of another way to do it. I've got to stop that. Oh boy. XNG asks, which uni did I go to? Went to the University of Western Sydney and the University of Technology Sydney. I hated them both. I've mentioned that before. In PA, they just have 5 trees fall across your road, Nico. Wee, big storms there, huh? Yeah, it's just horrible here. It's been raining all week. It's just yuck. It's just, yeah, in the middle of winter, it's just... Got any awesome projects coming up? Oh, I hope so. If we ever finish the damn things. somebody, yeah, people have seen this. It got the IT studio people sort of did that, but I've got a little LED matrix board. You know, you've seen the 8x8 LED matrix things. I'm doing a little tiny version of it. And yeah, hopefully, haven't even written any code for it yet. It's been sitting there for ages. And I've got another couple of projects. I don't know. I never finish things. That's my problem. I've got to sit down and go, right, today I'm going to do that, and I'm going to order PCBs, or I'm going to write some code, and I'm going to finish it, and I'm going to do all that sort of stuff. It's hard. Soon, 200 episodes. Yeah, that's scary. Wow, it only seems like less than yesterday I did the 200th episode preview. And yeah, thanks, Dingorius. That's how you pronounce it correctly. Yeah, yeah, Max Power. I'll keep posting my live streams on Facebook. All the blogs automatically update on Facebook now. I've got the Facebook thing sort of sorted. I've got like over 1,000 people have liked me on Facebook now, which is good. But it's my EEVblog Facebook account, not my personal. I don't open up my personal Facebook account to viewers. There's a couple of viewers who I've let in before I figured out it's probably not a good idea. How hot does it get in Australia? Asks MK007. It in summertime here in Sydney, depends whether you're at the north end or the southern end down in Tasmania. If you're up in Darwin, bloody hell, it's hot all year round. But here in Sydney, it's a very moderate, temperate climate, I think you call it. But in summer here in Sydney, it can get. We've had 45-degree days here in Sydney. 45 degrees Celsius will be a real record hot kind of day. Generally over 40, we walk around going, it's freaking hot, you know. But no, in summertime here in Sydney is, you know, in the 30s is common. So, you know, that's a nice warm summer day. It'll be 30 plus, you know, everyone will go to the beach and yeah. Will I do an special episode for 200? Oh, I don't know. Probably not. The last one was a pain in the ass doing the 100th video. My machine couldn't cope. I was trying to embed. I had 100 full videos open that I was taking a little grab from so I could stitch together all those things. And my machine just... Man, I was lucky to get that out at all. I don't want that pain again. So no, I may not do a special 200th video. It's just, it's really a pain. Mike, why is 192 more special than 200? You've got me. Is that... Oh, binary. Yeah, okay, right. Yep. I thought it must be something like that. Yeah, Melbourne beat that a year ago. But on average, Sydney's hotter than Melbourne. Any thoughts on Google+? I am on Google+. You can find me. I am on Google+. Don't use it for much. Yet. But I'm on there. Search for me. Whew, what's the time? Yeah, 1:45. 5 minutes left. Any last quick questions? Sorry, guys. An hour and a half. It's gone. Poof. Magic. Unbelievable. No, I'm not on there as Dave Jones. I'm on there as EEVblog. I don't have a private Gmail account. I've got it. I'm under there as EEVblog. I decided there was no point in doing a private one, really, because the thing with Google Plus is that you can separate things into groups, you know, like private, like your friends only, or you know, family and stuff like that. So, yeah. Boy, any more last minute questions? Last minute, people are dropping off. 104 viewers. They're all going. Is Workbench of the Week ever coming back? Yeah, probably. I just had an idea for a new segment last night, which was Wank of the Week. I'm not sure what we're going to call it, but it'll be something like that. You know, it'll be like, so send us your ideas for your wank products. Things, like a $10,000 audio cable or something like that, and we'll rant about it on air. So I was, I came up with that last night. I thought, wank product of the week. I can't remember what name I come up for the segment, but it's something like that. So that'd be cool if we could have, if we could name and shame a crap product each week. That'd be awesome. Yeah, I need more rant fuel. Awful link of the week on something awful. It's got to be electronics. SHIT, name of the segment. Audio fool, yeah. Yeah, audio cables are a classic. I could do every week. I could have a new audio cable, but yeah, I'd like to expand it. What's your view on lead-free solder? I don't like to use it. I just haven't changed. I use it for jobs and for production and stuff like that. If I'm working on professional stuff, but just here in the lab, I don't do lead-free. What about the 50-cent micro dilemma? I won that. I can't believe anyone would think that there's going to be a chip making machine. It's insane. I know Chris and Jerry are just doing it to piss me off. It's just, he was so serious to start off with. He was dead set serious and he's trying to back out of it. Oh dear. Thanks, Nemo. Thoughts on soldering silver in it? Yeah, I've got some here. That's 2% silver loaded solder. You don't need it. It can, strictly speaking, if you want to get into the theory of solder and doing aerospace quality solder joints, then yeah, if your components have got silver in them, you don't want the silver to leach out and all sorts of stuff, so you add silver to the solder and, I don't know. It really doesn't matter whether or not you use silver loaded solder for most uses. Yeah, they can be more shiny and they can be harder too. The joints are harder apparently. Aerospace grade solder joints, yeah. Oh, it's important, if you're sending something halfway across the solar system, each solder joint is important. Yeah. All right, guys, I better go. The wife is probably going to come out and beat me over the head again. It's 10:02. I've done an hour and 50 minutes. Hour and 50 minutes, almost 2-hour show. Thank you very much, guys. I think we hit it like 150, did we? Tops? 150 people. Thank you very much. All my regulars, of course. All my fellow bloggers there. Especially the people who stayed up at like 2 a.m, which would now be like 4 a.m. It'd be close to 4 a.m. in parts of Europe. Unbelievable. Oof, Wiedenschein, Nico. I'm sure I absolutely murdered that pronunciation, which I assume is German. Oh boy. I've got a lot of viewers in Germany for some reason. Germany. 3:48 a.m. in Germany, Leech. Wow, thanks for staying up. That's commitment. Anyway, yeah, hopefully I'll have the recorded version up. Don't know who the hell would want to watch it again, though, but 2 hours of me just answering questions. I don't know. If you've got any thoughts on the live show, should I go to the effort of trying to have like a multicam system, like, like they do on the Make show, but they've got like somebody who sits there and actually produces the whole show. They actually produce the whole thing. They switch cameras and they do everything, and maybe I can have another camera which points down on the bench and I can open things. I don't know. I just think it's better off to do a blog. because I'm doing teardowns separate now. So hopefully there'll be a couple of more teardowns next week. Hopefully. And they won't be new gear, it'll be retro. Yeah. Alright guys, anyway, thank you very much for turning up to the show. It's been awesome. And yeah, I haven't done one in ages. Maybe I'll be a bit more regular on the shows. Hopefully. That's the plan. I don't know. I just like them as interactive questions and answers thing. I think it's good. It's just a chance for me to chat to people in real time and interact. So there's a whole bunch of lurkers. There's a whole, like there's more than half the people on here are just lurking. They don't join the chat stream at all. They just lurk. Oh boy. Anyway, I better actually go now. So yes, the wife is upset. I have to drive and she'll be loading the baby into the car in any second, and I will be forced to go. So thank you very much, and I'm going to hit stop. Oh, stop recording. Hang on. Let me stop recording, and I'll save live show 9. And I've saved the Ustream, so it's now up on Ustream. And I'm going to stop broadcasting. See ya.